And we begin this channeling by a special passage divinely orchestrated by the angels and the archangels, whom we daily thank and love as God, divine creators and goddesses around here. So, in truth, my sessions are the 0 point initial teachings of Jesus. The gospel, this, is brilliant, and I love it. And I'm very grateful that my apostles took the time to tell me what's up since, the most painful of all events, which was the crucifixion. And I will read and honor you all with a passage of this book, and here we go. So we're at 2 Chronicles 35-36. The reign and captivity of Joachim. Joachim was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord his God. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came against him and bound him in bronze fetters to carry him off to Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar also carried off some of the articles from the house of the Lord to Babylon, and put them in his temple at Babylon. Now, the rest of the acts of Joachim, the abominations which he did, and what was found against him, indeed, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. Then Jehoiachin, his son, reigned in his place. So, on these matters now, and in terms of Israel, as you all know, how was the Constitution created in the United States of America? When they decided to end the British rule that had all their soldiers go into the house of the American people, sit at their dining tables, rape their wives and their children, and just take all sorts of liberties. And the American people were scared and done with these British, conquistadores. So they decided, as in to kick out Britain from the land. They would fortify the system here by making a system where there was division of power into the Triforce, which would emulate God on earth, however not be it, and still blessing the land with the dollar and the currency going, God bless America. And then they just divide the power so that not one man could have full power or the full land and the full people out of fear. What is fear? False evidence appearing real. So they were actually still reinforcing the British rule by rebelling against it, by still reinforcing it, by instilling a constitution based on fear and not trusting them being the chosen new world, new creation, land of free, home of the brave, meaning Jesus Christ's land, Aurora land, United States of Aurora, America, is who I am, by divine decree, by diplomatic decree. Now, what happened with Palestine? Same, it was also ruled by the Brits. And then, what happened? When they decided to remove the British rules, what happened? Oh, let's go back to that. They deleted the Palestine country, they removed the flag, and then they created a nation called Israel with another flag, and they made pretend that that was the chosen nation. Well, to begin with, New Jerusalem, meaning Israel, the chosen people of God, don't come by force. That's not how it works. It comes from a shift. Israel is a shift from Palestine. I'm it. Tiberius was Palestinian before it got conquistadorized. And they did everything in their power, tapping into the medieval magic tools that they used since the beginning of time, because they knew of the second coming, and they decided to infiltrate it and shift me, to a woman in order for the people to doubt me and want to crucify me again and want to force me to be a prostitute again. Now, you guys must remember that the laws that apply to other feminines on earth really don't apply onto me, because first of all, I'm not a daughter of Eve. I never was, never will be. Ha. Second of all, when I go to Kuwait on mission, say, and I choose to walk the streets with a pink wig and a little white dress, And hence step on the corns and the horns of all those Kuwaiti higal people and abaya people who are wearing the feminines wear the whole black wear with only the eyes showing and the face is covered and the whole body's covered, and the guys wear the like little thingy there with the like white thingy and the whole white, and they walk in couples in the mall, and I'm the only Archaea walking around in a little white Zara dress with like an elastic little belt, and like I'm wearing like a bunch of big pearl gold bracelets from Forever 21 at the mall, at like the coolest mall, and then a bunch of other like 40 little gold bracelets that are clicking, clanking, and like all those rings and cute like accessories. And I'm walking around with a pink wig, and I'm like being all free, and then walking to the mall when they all have cars, even if I'm in the middle of the desert. That's service to God. I mean, maybe a regular woman when she would do that and wear these sorts of dresses and attire and stuff, she'd be all about attracting a guy to like nail him for all his money and worth, and like just playing her God. No, I do it for divine purposes. I am not a woman, and I am not a man, and I am not a transgender, and I am not any of the above, and I am not a racist. I'm not in any program. I don't have an ego mind. I am an Archaea. That's all I am. I am a goddess, and I am here to invite you all to join in to become your personal higher vision version of yourselves, meaning gods and goddesses, creators here to bring down heaven on earth frequencies on earth. And united we stand, divided we fall. So in constitutional terms, now that we have visited how the Brits were kind of dethroned, but falsely, so now the British rule still rules you all, the reptilians, the royal family there. And if you come to see things for what they are, and you look at, the double-decker red buses of the London town, which I rode many times, and I've lived in London, and I love London. Now, if you look at that strata, you will notice that before you enter any bus or metro, etc., like public transport, they go, mind the gap. Mind the gap. What does that mean? Mind is the mind, ego-mind complex. It's like the Atlantean programming. The gap is the original sin. What happened in the original story of creation, okay? So I created Father from my heart, and then we started to make love. And every time we made love, a new order of angels or archangels was created. The Seraphim, the rainbow warriors, the whatever, etc. And eventually, some of those daughters started to become infiltrated by dark alien intelligence. And then they started to entice Father, and he started to fuck with the daughters. And that's what created the initial gap. So, once God started to cheat on me, goddess, which I created him first, this is my creation, not his. And that's where they fail me in these books, because there's no mention of me, goddess. Like, they just talk about God and about the Adam lineages and Eve lineages of betrayal, because that he chose over me. He started to fuck the daughters, and then next thing you know, there was the gap. So every time he would intercourse with another daughter, he wasn't able anymore to be at my level. We weren't able to share emotions anymore, because normally at Godhead, God and Goddess, we feel the same way every moment of the day, passing clouds. So there was a gap. It was like, okay, what is he feeling now? Because this is not coming from my womb. This is not coming from my withins. What is that? What is that foreign organism? Oh, and then I started to make peace with the dark alien infiltration of my creation, using my daughters as prostitute whores. That's the Isis infiltration. The dark goddesses. Kali, Hasnamis, Jezebel. So then he started to deviate more and more and more, and God became a motherfucker. And that's why a lot of people fear God, but fear is false evidence appearing real. So this whole fear thing is what's trapping everybody in fear consciousness, lack consciousness, victim consciousness, betrayal and bullshit and orgies and whatever and justification and the rest of the Atlantean ego mind list. Now, I'm the only hope because I'm goddess and I never, ever, ever delved into the shit, okay? In very serious terms. And at the end of time, like the 11th hour, for God to have even thought of replacing my maiden name with another little, fraud, broad, prostitute, needy hooker because he thought she has a stronger sacral chakra, which was based on madness. And then they started to call my, genitalia needy at Mission House, even though I created the whole thing. And even after they kicked me out, they kept tapping into my energy and stealing all of my contents to create articles out of me and whole movements out of me. And they still cannot apologize or show up at my door for true value and true face value and say, sorry, we love you, please forgive us. They cannot do that at any level because they still want me to do the transmutational work on all their behalfs because they're all little fearful, greedy, mongoloids, trisomic retards that don't have self-love, self-confidence, honor, or anything. Now, what protects me is the Constitution. Why? Because being from Palestine initially, right? And my mission having been to be the shift to Israel, which they stole from me through black magic and rituals and chopping up my free will at birth. Now that I'm here, at least the Constitution can protect me, even though it's not the amended Constitution yet, because I've been reattaching course to all my kids to amended Constitution and amended Bill of Rights, because we're not there yet. It's the division of power now. However, in true terms, now the Constitution at least allows we the people to be at a mirroring game. It's like the twin flame scenario. So the government and the people are literally doing a twin flame dance now. So as long as the people don't all love their president and they're doing all these, acts of terror to the Capitol and they're all wearing masks, it means there's something missing. The gap is still there. You guys are still infiltrated by British fear and, reptilian royal intelligence, which shouldn't be here. So now, we the people have to be much more empowered, because yesterday those videos that they sent me about we the people show the face of we the people. It's like a really dog, like, oh, thank you so much for whoever and whoever to send me a love donation for my daughters, this and that. And I'm here at the Washington, D.C. Capitol and White House. And why are there like these green buses and these orange buses and these yellow buses? What does that mean? Why is that car parked there? Like, as long as we the people don't act like finders, as long as we're still like seekers asking questions, every intelligence foreignly is making chick of you. As a matter of fact, all the Russian intelligence, they call your presidents idiots and mongoloids, and they stream podcasts every day on my YouTube of people that are blind and whatever going and kissing Putin's hand. And as I told you already, pute means whore in French. Pute de merde, putain de merde. It means puta madre, putain de merde. Merde means shit. Putain means whore, whore of shit. That's what Putin means. But now he's a cult because he engendered a whole movement in America of everybody lying to the real me to make pretend that the fake me is the real me just to please a dick that has issues. So that's another issue, and that's the truth. So to all we the people, you're seeking for truth. This is the truth. They replaced the real me by a fraud and engendered COVID-19. It's a sexual-based disease, that broke down the root chakra of the world, Mount Shasta. They denied my sexuality, denied my sex power, denied my genitalia, denied my service, kicked me out the door, and then started to laugh at my higher self because they are not the shift they wish to see. They are not the ones you've been waiting for. They are frauds. Shut down Love Is One, reopen AuroraMotherCommunication.com, and stop this bullshit. Thank you. Same as LoveGmail.com. LoveGmail.com is, when you type it in, it'll give you AuroraMotherCommunication.com. I am the shift you wish to see. Period. The end. So get it, got it, get going, or stay retarded. And I cannot help you any further. If you don't get that, it is only a matter of hours. Like, for the plan to be decloaked, you don't have forever. This is not like, oh yeah, let's drink another Bud Light and smoke another cigarettes with our buddies and jerk off another time over her. No, 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 no. And you will watch and you will live to learn. And I have no fear because I've already made it. I am already bought in heaven. So even if earth doesn't want heaven, I am heaven. I am only here doing you guys a favor. If you tell me all to fuck all, fine. You think I'm gonna like cry inside a weep and beg at your doors? No. I did write 36 DL in Unit 21 because that's my home from Kelly Lintern. I have all the folders and all the evidence, which the cops don't want to hear of and the FBI don't want to deal with because they're too scared of the terrorists that they all bow to. Well, unfortunately for you, we the people do not bow to terrorism. So show and tell.